As winter looms on the horizon, the buzz around potential shortages is heating up. Remember the scramble of past seasons? The barren aisles and the disappointment of finding essentials like toilet paper all wiped out. Well, it's time to brace ourselves once again. But here's the twist this winter. The scarcity is not just about the usual suspects like bread and milk. We're talking about some unexpected items, ones you might not even have on your radar yet. In today's video, we're diving deep into the top 5 foods that will be nearly impossible to find as the cold sets in. And trust me, these aren't your run-of-the-mill staples. Being prepared isn't just a precaution, it's a necessity. As we face another season of uncertainty, it's crucial to stay ahead of the curve and stock up before the frenzy begins. Imagine the frustration of planning your favorite winter recipes only to discover that a key ingredient is nowhere to be found. But don't worry, we've got you covered. We'll reveal what these elusive items are and why they'll be in such high demand. So grab a pen, take notes, and start planning your shopping list because the earlier you're prepared, the better off you'll be. 1. Meats. Now, if you've been paying even a little attention at the grocery store, you've probably noticed something unsettling. The price of meat is skyrocketing. It's becoming increasingly painful on the pocketbook when you're standing at the checkout wondering if you should really add that pack of steaks to your cart. But it's not just about the pinch in your wallet. Look closely, and you might see those meat shelves looking a bit sparse. The section where juicy steaks and affordable ground beef once proudly sat now seems emptier. That's right, folks, we're starting to see the signs of an impending meat shortage, with beef feeling the brunt of it all. However, beef isn't alone in this battle. Chicken is also hovering on the edge of scarcity. While the pinch isn't as noticeable just yet, it's only a matter of time before poultry follows suit. It's like a domino effect, prices shoot up, and then shortly after, the shelves are bare. Imagine tossing a stone into a pond. You see the ripples start small, but eventually they reach the edges. That's exactly what's happening with our meat supply. Now, let's get practical. When it comes to meat, fresh is great, but in times of uncertainty, we need to think long-term. Enter canned meats, the unsung heroes of your pantry. Unless you're one of the fortunate few with a solar generator to keep your freezer humming through a power outage, or if you find yourself unable to make a grocery run, fresh meat might not be your best bet for sustained protein intake. Canned meats offer a solution with their incredible shelf life. These little cans pack a punch, ensuring that your diet remains rich in protein no matter what's happening with the fresh meat market. So here's a little nugget of wisdom for you: start stocking up on canned meats whenever you can. This isn't just about being prepared, it's about being smart. Think of canned meats as your pantry superheroes. They withstand the test of time, ready to swoop in and save the day when fresh options are hard to come by. By building up your stock, you're not only preparing for potential shortages, but you're also setting yourself up for a consistent protein supply. Plus, you gain that unbeatable peace of mind, knowing you're ready for anything. And let's be real, that peace of mind is priceless. Imagine cooking your favorite meals without worrying about where your protein will come from. You'll have the satisfaction of knowing your pantry is stocked and your family is fed, regardless of the hurdles that this winter might throw your way. 2. Grains. Now, if you've been keeping up with the news, you know that the situation with grains is more tangled than a ball of barbed wire, thanks in large part to the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. This isn't just a simple skirmish over territory, it's a strategic blockade on grain exports that's sending shockwaves through global markets. This isn't just about ships sitting idle at ports. Imagine farmers caught in the crossfire trying to plant and harvest in what has become a battlefield. It's a tough row to hoe, as the saying goes. Fields that should be lush with crops are instead trampled by the chaos of conflict, and it's affecting everyone from your local baker to international food suppliers. Now, let's talk about corn, because this golden grain deserves its own spotlight. You might think corn is just about what you find in your cereal bowl or on your dinner plate. But in reality, corn is the backbone of the agricultural world. It feeds more than just people. It's a cornerstone of animal feed. Here in the States, our livestock diets practically revolve around corn. So when corn production takes a hit, it's not just a matter of what you're going to munch on. It's a massive wake-up call for the meat industry. Picture this: if corn supplies dwindle, the cost of feeding cattle skyrockets, and suddenly that steak you're craving is as expensive as a night out at a 5-star restaurant. It's like pulling a thread in a sweater. You tug at corn, and the whole fabric of food production starts to unravel. And while we're on the subject, let's not forget popcorn. You might laugh thinking it's just a snack, but when popcorn supply becomes scarce, it's like a canary in the coal mine. It signals deeper issues within the food chain. Popcorn might just be your go-to for movie nights, but its scarcity indicates much larger problems looming in the fields. It's a domino effect knock over the kernel, and the repercussions trickle down through the meat industry, right back to your dining table. Every snag in the grain supply tells a story of bigger challenges lurking behind the scenes. It's a cycle that starts with blocked exports and ends with higher prices at your local grocery store. Each obstacle sends ripples across the world, affecting everything from your favorite breakfast cereals to the beef industry. It's a clear reminder of how interconnected our food systems truly are. In this winter of uncertainty, understanding the journey from field to fork has never been more crucial. Grains and the industries they support are facing a storm of challenges. Being aware of these issues not only helps you prepare, but also empowers you to make informed choices. So keep an eye on these developments and consider stocking up on a few extra bags of your favorite grains while you can. 3. Honey. As winter approaches, it seems like honey always finds a way to become the talk of the town. But this year, it's not all sweet tales we're facing a sticky situation, particularly here in the United States. The whispers and worries aren't just idle chit-chat from the local farmer's market. No, this is a genuine concern. Honey is becoming increasingly hard to come by, and it's got everyone talking. It's no wonder, really. Honey isn't just a delightful treat, it's a powerhouse in the pantry, a little jar of golden goodness with a multitude of uses. For many of us, honey is the first line of defense. When a sore throat strikes, just a spoonful can work wonders. It's also touted for helping with those pesky seasonal allergies. And then, of course, there's its role as the darling of natural sweeteners. Whether it's drizzled over a piping hot slice of toast or swirled into a soothing cup of tea, honey is a kitchen essential we all rely on. But here's where things get sticky: the bees. These industrious little creatures are at the heart of honey production, and lately they've been having a rough time. Just when we thought their numbers were on the rebound, they took another nosedive. It's like a roller coaster ride, but without the fun. The decline in bee populations is linked to various factors, but weather issues are a significant part of the problem. Bees need just the right conditions to thrive, and unfortunately, Mother Nature hasn't been very accommodating lately. And if that wasn't enough to worry about, demand for honey is soaring. It seems like everyone's suddenly clued into its health benefits, or maybe they're just craving a bit more sweetness in their lives. Whatever the reason, it feels like there's been a collective decision that more honey is the answer. This surge in demand, coupled with dwindling supply, creates a perfect storm: less honey to go around, yet more people clamoring for it. It's a double whammy that's making honey a rare commodity, and if you're anything like me, the idea of a honeyless winter is a bit unsettling. So what can we do? Well, for starters, if you do spot honey on the shelves, it might be wise to stock up. But beyond that, it's about supporting initiatives that help our bee populations recover. After all, these tiny pollinators are vital not just for honey production, but for the health of our entire ecosystem. As we face this winter of honey scarcity, it's a reminder of how interconnected our world is and how even the smallest creatures play a crucial role in our food supply. So let's do our part to protect the bees, savor every drop of honey we have, and appreciate the sweet things in life. 4, next up on our list, is a group of foods that are as practical as they are nutritious: legumes. Whether you're a seasoned prepper or just someone who likes to keep a well-stocked pantry, legumes like split peas and lentils should be your go-to staples. Legumes are nutritional powerhouses. They're packed with protein, fiber, and essential vitamins and minerals. Personally, I have a soft spot for lentils. They're not only delicious, but versatile enough to be used in a variety of dishes, from hearty soups to savory salads. However, if you're following a keto regimen, you might have to enjoy them in moderation. But for most people, stocking up on legumes is just plain smart. Let's talk about dried beans for a moment. These are the unsung heroes of any solid food storage plan. Think about it: when paired with rice, beans form a complete protein, giving you the essential amino acids your body needs, especially during tough times. They're like the Bonnie and Clyde of the prepping world, famous for a reason. Beans not only offer that vital punch of protein, but also provide the comfort and nourishment you need when resources are tight. If you notice your stash of dried beans running low, consider it a red flag. It's a signal that your food security could be at risk. The last thing you want is an empty pantry when the going gets tough. That's why I'm always advocating for stocking up like there's no tomorrow. Because one day, there might just be a supply crunch, and you don't want to be caught off guard. Price hikes and supply shortages can strike when you least expect them. That's why it's wise to get your beans in bulk now. Store them properly, seal them tight, and keep them dry. Doing so will ensure you're prepared for whatever comes your way. You'll find that having a plentiful supply of legumes gives you peace of mind, knowing that your nutritional needs are covered. And let's not forget, legumes are incredibly versatile. They can be the star of a vegetarian dish or a hearty side to a meat-based meal. With a little creativity, you can transform them into a variety of delicious dishes, making them a valuable asset in the kitchen. Plus, they're relatively inexpensive compared to other protein sources, which is a blessing when prices are climbing. 5, tomatoes. Whether in soups, salads, or sauces, tomatoes add that crucial touch of flavor and color to our meals. But as we brace for winter, these vibrant red fruits are facing a storm of challenges. Typically, when we think about tomato shortages, erratic weather patterns come to mind first. Droughts, floods, or unexpected frost can turn a promising harvest into a farmer's nightmare. It's like a twisted game of meteorological roulette. But this time, the situation is even more complex. The escalating conflict in Israel is casting a long shadow over the tomato supply chain. It's deeply concerning, not just for the immediate human impact, but for its effects on agriculture too. Reports suggest that up to 70% of Israel's tomato crops might go unpicked due to the war. That's a colossal blow to the supply. And even if some crops make it to harvest, the priority is shifting. With many volunteers joining the Israeli Defense Forces and reserves being called up, fresh produce, including tomatoes, is increasingly redirected to support the troops. This shift means fewer exports and more consumption within Israel itself, leading to a ripple effect felt worldwide. Here in the U.S., we're already noticing those once plentiful tomato displays turning sparse. It's a stark reminder of how interconnected our global food supply truly is. A conflict in one corner of the world can impact dinner tables thousands of miles away. So what can tomato lovers do in the face of these shortages? Well, for starters, it might be time to start thinking about creative alternatives. Consider exploring local farmers markets where smaller scale producers might still have a steady supply. Alternatively, why not try your hand at growing tomatoes yourself? Whether it's a small pot on your balcony or a couple of plants in your backyard, homegrown tomatoes can be a rewarding solution. And let's not forget the world of canned and jarred tomatoes. Stocking up on these can ensure you have a steady supply for your winter recipes, from hearty stews to comforting pastas. While they might not have the same fresh bite as their garden-grown cousins, they can certainly bring a burst of flavor when needed. Moreover, consider experimenting with tomato substitutes in your cooking. Red bell peppers, for example, can offer a sweet and savory kick to dishes, while squash or pumpkin can add depth and richness to sauces and soups. This winter's tomato scarcity is a call to adapt and innovate in our kitchens. By exploring new options and being resourceful, we can continue to savor the dishes we love, even if circumstances require a little extra creativity and effort. In conclusion, the forecasted scarcity of certain staple foods this winter, such as tomatoes, wheat, and other essentials, poses a significant challenge to our usual culinary habits. However, it also presents an opportunity to adapt and broaden our culinary horizons. By embracing local markets, growing some produce at home, and experimenting with substitutes, we can mitigate the impact of these shortages. It's essential to stay informed about the changing food landscape and to support sustainable practices whenever possible. This way, we can continue to enjoy flavorful meals while fostering resilience in our food supply chains. Remember, innovation and flexibility in the kitchen will be our best tools to navigate these uncertain times.